is the idea of creating an outdoor room. How do we build? How do we make, if we make the mix of uses, if we put the plans in place, how do we build the buildings in such a way that really enhance that, have the building support the idea that we're trying to create? And to make something walkable, when you're looking at residential, the first thing is to keep the garage secondary. Very often in most new communities, when you drive down the street, you're driving down a street of garage doors. What happens there is twofold. One, the pedestrian is completely taken out of the mix. So it's not even, you just don't even feel safe walking down the street, because in a lot of cases, cars are going quite quickly. There are no eyes on the street. And that's something that is a very important element to allow people and cars to coexist, is pushing the garage back and the house forward, so there are actually windows facing the street, so it feels safe to walk down the street, and it's called eyes on the street. It also allows, it's a traffic calming device, a lot better than speed bumps. We have so many traffic calming issues right now with our streets because they're so wide, because people race down them, and it is not safe to drive down. And this has to do with a couple things. One, the width of the road, as I just mentioned. It also has to do with large collector roads and cul-de-sacs. But it also has to do with garages only facing the street. And when you can push that back, you start to create an outdoor room. The rule of thumb to work with is that ideally the garage would be set 18 feet back behind the front of the house, and that allows a car to park in front of the garage next to the house without it sticking out and becoming sort of a streetscape of cars. Cars are crucial, as I said before, but they shouldn't be the primary feature. The question is, when you look at these images, who lives in the house on the left? Is it a person or a car? And, increasingly, we use the garage door as our front door. And if we can push it to the side, if we can treat it as a secondary element, cars are crucial for us, but they shouldn't dominate us. And when we allow them to, the value of our homes go down. And this is something that, I'll talk throughout this presentation about sustainability, but the greenest building you can build is a building that you love enough to want to maintain, that is in a place that you care enough about to want to continue to live in. And that starts with creating identity of place. And that cannot happen with a bunch of garage doors. Identity of place happens with buildings that we identify with. And that starts when we create outdoor rooms.